Hello and welcome back to Drinks with the Butler. Now today what I want to talk to you about is, sorry that's my Cocker Spaniel in the background running around like a mad thing. So I'd like to talk to you today about Gin Bothy's offering to the market, which is this Gunshot. So what is Gunshot? Why is it called that? And what are its characteristics? You might be thinking to yourselves, oh no, not another flavoured gin. And normally I would agree, because there's far too many flavoured gins. In fact, I'd say there's far too many gins on the market. Alfie's still going crazy out there, so sorry about that. Gin Bothy gin is of a very high quality and is one that I really rate. It's expensive. Even the original standard gin from Gin Bothy is still an expensive gin, so you're still talking about over £30 for a bottle of gin, so it's not in the same segment as your Gordon's or Tanqueray or something like that. It is notably more expensive, but it is a very good gin, and as I always say, if something's good, you're going to pay for it. But here we talk about something different today. We talk about Gin Bothy Gunshot. I don't know if any of you are into outdoor pursuits, horse riding, shooting, anything where you get cold and wet, to be honest. This is exactly the kind of drink that you're looking for. There's a few other drinks which it directly competes with. Things like King's Liqueur, which is like a ginger flavoured drink, and other things like that. That's from Berry Brothers. But this is a bit different. It's a bit lighter. Obviously, as you can see, it's gin based. Now, I've drunk this quite a few times, so it's not my first tasting of it. But it's got a wonderful narrative. It's got a wonderful story, because Gin Bothy is quite literally one of these wonderful sort of rags to riches, one person's passion tale. So there's one lady that owns this company. She started off just making jam in her living room, and she actually progressed using what was left over from jam making to start making gins and flavoured gins. And since then she's won many awards, and the company has gone from strength to strength. It's still quite niche, it's still quite unusual. You might have to go online to find it. I don't think they stock it in supermarkets, but they do stock it at a lot of other really good drinks retailers, especially in Scotland. And they have their own shop at the very, very beautiful Glams Castle. When you smell it, you do get a hint of juniper, you get a hint of gin, but what you more get is this wonderful aniseedy, cinnamony, but not too sweet. We're not talking about the full Christmas pudding experience. There's still freshness in there. And that, it was designed just to make you smile. I've spoken to Kim, and that's what it's all about. It's all about warming you up on a cold day. You know, and it is pretty cold outside. It's pretty wet outside. I live in Scotland, so that's usually true. But this is what you want. If you're out with your dog, getting soaking wet, walking through the moors, and you've got a hip flask with some of this, when it gets to that point in the walk where your tweeds start to let the water in, this is what's going to keep you warm. I hope you don't mind the sound of Alfie in the background there. But that's kind of what this is all about. It's kind of all about your Cocker Spaniel out in the rain in Scotland. This is in your hip flask. And that's really the context that you'll really enjoy this. It's got a fieriness to it. Not from the alcohol. The alcohol is not actually very strong. It's 37.5, so it's pretty standard really for a spirit. Slightly to the lower side. But the warmth comes from all the herbs. It comes from all the botanicals. So we've got cinnamon, cloves, mixed spice, and then what tastes like a sort of dark demerara sugar. And that's the, you know, so it is Christmassy, but it's not too heavy. It's not got that stodge that some of these kind of cinnamon-based drinks have. I'm actually not a big fan of cinnamon-based liqueurs, but this is more balanced. It's got a freshness to it. It's got, there's not lemon in there, but it has that lemony zest to it. So I would highly recommend this. Honestly, Gunshot by Gin Bothy. It's made in small batches. It's all hand numbered in a beautiful bottle as well. So it makes a really nice gift. These are handmade in Italy, these bottles. Shame they can't be made in Scotland, I must say, but apparently there isn't really anyone who can do it here. But give it a try. I know when you look at it and you think gin liqueur, and I think it comes in at like £37, and you're probably thinking that's a bit more than I really wanted to spend. But honestly, for its taste, its complexity, I would compare it to something more like a whiskey, in which case it comes down at quite a good price. And I say it's like, you know, like King's liqueur, like King's ginger, that kind of thing. That's the context that you're going to be drinking. Or a slow gin, like the equivalent of drinking a slow gin as well. Similar kind of time you're going to be drinking it. So thanks very much. I really hope you've enjoyed the review. As always, leave your comments. These drinks with the Butlers, they're something that I don't do very much, so I'm really excited and interested to hear your feedback about them, ways I can improve. I know on the last one you said maybe I didn't give quite enough detail about whether I liked it or not. So this one I'm going to make it very obvious. Yes, I do like it. Yes, I do recommend that you buy it. Right, thanks very much. That's me. Bye-bye.